Students, welcome to part 3 of UGC NET Environmental Sciences syllabus review. Here we will be reviewing the third unit of the UGC NET syllabus. So here you can see for the first 5 units of the UGC NET syllabus followed by the next 5 units. So totally there are 10 units and you can watch the previous lectures for unit 1 and 2. Now we are going to unit 3. Let's begin. So I would request you to just subscribe to this channel. Please do not forget that. So let's begin. So unit 3 deals with environmental biology. Unit 1 dealt with the fundamentals of environmental sciences. Unit 2 dealt with the fundamentals of environmental chemistry. And unit 3 deals with biology. So under biology, we have, I have split it totally into 12 different modules. So in the first module, if you see, you have to learn about the basics of ecology as an interdisciplinary science, followed by origin of life and how speciation is done. So how the different species are formed. Then you need to have an understanding of human ecology and how human beings are settling. So the concept of settlement. Next, if you look at the second module under environmental biology, it involves ecosystem. So what is ecosystem? What is the structure of the ecosystem? Under ecosystem, what is the structure of the ecosystem as regards to biotic and abiotic? Biotic means living components, abiotic means non-living components. Then what are the different functions of the ecosystem? A lot of functions are there. How the ecosystem functions, what is meant by energy flow, what are the different energy flow models with which we can understand this energy flow, what is meant by food chain and food web. This is very, very basic information. Then you need to know about the biogeochemicals. Here you can see that this particular topic overlaps with environmental chemistry also. So if you are comfortable with unit 2 of biogeochemical cycles, then you can be very, very comfortable here. Then it involves the concept of ecological succession, and then we have a species diversity followed by ecotone concept and edge effects. So these are the different topics that you will have to learn under functions of ecosystems. Then you need to have an understanding of ecological habitat, niche areas, ecosystem stability, and what are the factors which affect the ecosystem stability. Then ecosystem services. Ecosystem services means what are the different kinds of services. For example, forest or the tree, it provides us shelter, it provides us oxygen. So these are some of the services that the trees will provide for free, and trees collectively they form a forest. So what are that the forest is having an ecosystem, then the ecosystem is providing a service to us, or it is providing a service to the planet. So that is what is meant by ecosystem services. Then the third module, if you look at it, it involves the classification of the ecosystem. So different types of ecosystems are there in the earth. Now here again, I will tell you that if you are comfortable with unit 1 of the different aspects of environment, then you can be quite comfortable here, because it involves the different types of ecosystem, namely desert. Under desert, you have hot desert and cold desert. Then forest ecosystem, rangeland ecosystem, and wetland ecosystem. In wetland ecosystem, you need to have some basic understanding of the pond ecosystems, mainly the lentic and the lotic systems, followed by estuarine systems. Estuarine systems are mangrove systems, which is a mixture of salt water and fresh water. So that particular area you need to have. Then finally, it goes to the oceanic. So how the oceans are arranged, what is the different kinds of ecosystem existing in the oceans. These are the topics which are given in the unit 3 biology for the first 3 modules. Let us look at the next aspects. Followed by this, then you go a little bit more advanced, deeper, whereas you learn about the biomes. So under biomes, you have to learn the concept, classification, and distribution of biomes, followed by their characteristics. So these are some of the biomes that you will have to learn in detail. Tundra, taiga, grassland, deciduous forest, highland, icy, alpine, chaparral, savanna, and tropical rainforest. So after you learn about biomes, you completely move away from that topic and you enter into the human aspect, which is population ecology. Under population ecology, you have these concepts. So you have the characteristics of a population. What is meant by carrying capacity? So how much the environment can sustain a particular population. So it may not be just for human beings, it can also involve other species also. Then what are the different types of population growth and how they can be regulated? How the population is fluctuating, so population fluctuations, how the population is distributed or dispersed, so dispersion, and what is the concept of metapopulation. And another thing, what is the concept of R and K species? Finally, the topic ends with a note on keystone species. So keystone species are very, very important, unique species which are present in a particular environment, and they determine the fate of all the other species in the environment. So that is keystone species. So here the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So sixth part of the unit 3 under environmental biology comes for community ecology. So what is community ecology? How it is defined? What is the concept? What are the different types? How community ecology interactions are studied? So here you have predation, herbivory, parasitism, allelopathy, and biological invasions. So basically, if you learn about food chain or food webs, here it is just an extrapolation of those concepts. Now let us move on to the next aspects. Here you will be learning about biodiversity and conservation. Biodiversity and conservation, under that you will have the definition, the types of biodiversity, the importance and the threats to biodiversity. Then you have to learn about hotspots. Hotspots are regions where endemic species are higher in number and there is no other area in the world where such endemic species can be found. So what are the different concepts? What is the basis for identification of a particular area as a hotspot and what are the different hotspots in India? So then it involves the measures of biodiversity, strategies of conservation. What are the different strategies of conservation? In situ conservation, ex situ conservation and in vitro conservation. So these are the different aspects of biodiversity and how it is practiced. The next module, if you look at it, you can see the ex situ conservation components, national parks, sanctuaries, protected areas, and sacred groves in India. So you need to understand the difference between different types of such organizations. So how national park will differ from a protected area, you need to have a very clear idea. So that is why the topics are given like this. Then you need to understand some deeper concepts of biodiversity, namely the gene pool. What are the concepts in that? Then the practical aspects, how biodiversity is exploited. So you need to learn about biopiracy. Then how different components of the biodiversity are identified, bioprospecting. Then restoration ecology. What are the different concepts of restoration ecology? Then you learn about the flora and fauna of India. Mainly under this, you are going to learn about the extinct, rare, endangered, and threatened species. So this is very, very important. You need to understand the difference between extinct, rare, or what is the difference between extinct and threatened species. You need to have a clear understanding. That is why these topics are given. Let us move to the next set of topics. So I think we have come to the end of Unit 3, Environmental Biology. So here you have to learn about the concept of industrial ecology also. This is a typically different concept. After that, you go into a completely different area where you have to learn about the basics of toxicology and microbiology. Namely, what are the different toxic agents, how the toxic agents are absorbed, how they are distributed, and how they are excreted. So, absorption, distribution, and excretion. Finally, what is the concept of toxicity? This toxic agent will result in toxicity. So, under toxicity, you have two types of toxicity. One will extend for a very long period of time. It is called chronic toxicity. Then you have acute toxicity. So, this is over. Then it goes to the concept of bioassay, where you actually try to measure the type of toxins or the toxicity which is present in the environment, prevalent in the environment. So, let us see the topics under that. If you look under the topics of that, it involves concepts of threshold, limit value, margin of safety, and therapeutic index. So these are the three concepts of bioassay that you will have to learn under these topics. And finally, it ends with a completely different topic of biotransformation. Biotransformation is these toxins, once they are coming into the environment, how they are transformed within the environment and enter different species. So in order to understand this, you need to have a basic idea about this. Next, if you look at the next set of completely different topics, it involves major waterborne diseases and major airborne microbes. Then we end the third unit with a set of topics on environmental biotechnology. Now, under environmental biotechnology, you need not learn everything. The topics which are given in the syllabus are only this much. So you will have to understand bioremediation, what is the definition, what are the types, what is the role of plant and microbe in this bioremediation process, what are the two types of bioremediation, namely in situ bioremediation and ex situ bioremediation. In situ means you are doing the bioremediation at the site or at the place where the bioremediation needs to take place. Ex situ bioremediation means you take the contaminated soil from a particular location, take it into a processing plant, bioremediate it, and then reintroduce it into the environment. So this is ex situ bioremediation. Then you have to know about the concepts of bioindicators, biofertilizers, biofuels, and biosensors. So all of these concepts have been packaged into environmental biotech environmental biology. So this is unit 3 of UGC NET Environmental Sciences, and then brings us to the end of this lecture.